What is the dumbest thing you've ever done to impress a date? Hold that thought, because it cannot be any dumber than an unidentified man in China who jumped into the zoo's panda enclosure. Yes, you heard that correctly. So Mei Ling is the 12-year-old giant panda who lives in the Nanchang Zoo in southeast China. And this guy was with two women. He was trying to impress them. So he did the following. Let's take a look at this video. So yeah, obviously he didn't know that much about pandas, because even though they do have a bamboo diet and they're known to be really mellow, they can be incredibly dangerous when poked. And it seems like Mei Ling was trying to play with him, or at least just, I don't know, this guy was poking him, was bothering him, pestering him, so I guess the panda decided to pester him back. And we should, of course, remember that pandas are very strong bears.
Very strong.
They're bears.
As you can see.
Yeah. So fortunately, the guy was able to escape just with some shredded pants, clothing, and...
He had enough after a while. He's like, okay, this is getting too much. The panda's like, no, it's blood.
Yeah, so that escalated quite quickly. I'm sure that his dates were super impressed, or whoever he was with.
Like, come on, they should be at least a little impressed.
No, he was also called out on Twitter by Lucy Lawless, who says...
Lucy Lawless, yeah.
Yes, who says, big ups to the panda, and then just a link to what went down. Man, this is such a strange story, such a strange thing to feel the need to do.
I know. I've definitely felt the urge. I haven't been to a zoo in a long time. I don't think zoos are good places in general. I think they're completely obsolete.
We don't belong here. It's just not natural.
Yes.
In our modern time. But when I was a kid, like, yeah, of course I want to go toe-to-toe with a zoo animal.
You think that, though, but there's the...
But, like, it's because you're projecting human, like, stuff onto these animals.
Onto
how they're
animals.
Gonna be. And they're not going to behave that way. They're not going to behave how you think a cartoon version of this is going to behave.
I hear that sentiment. I've totally been there before as well, where especially if there's an animal that I'm I love otters, for example. I love otters and I love dolphins. Sea animals in general, big fan of the sea.
No, not
of
me.
the oceans. I would love, and I think to myself, how cool would it be, or seals, like to just jump in and hang out with them, like that'd be so much fun. And you think that, but there is something in the way of most people where there's a line that tells you don't actually do that, even though in your brain it plays out as so fun. Because once I learned that otters project onto people when they're really young, and that's why the people that go in and take care of the otters, they have to wear basically full-on sort of body suits.
Okay.
So the otters don't project onto them and think, oh, this is my mother, because then they'll never be able to be released into the wild. Once I learned that, I was like, give me an otter to project on me. You know, I was like, you'll be mine forever. But there is a line that tells me don't break into the otter enclosure and do that. That's not the right thing to do. And I wonder, maybe, you know, I really do wonder how the second half of this date went. Because this guy, he followed through.
He probably went home. He was like really injured after. He's like, I gotta go.
Do you think the girls were like, dinner? Yeah, after this, we're like, what?
They bought
next?
him dinner. They're like, you look like you could use a meal.
Yeah. You know what I liked about this too is that you just see this reluctant panda, because they are such really mellow animals.
He was like, he wasn't aggressive at all though. He was just like, oh, you want to play, huh? I'll play with you.
Yeah, he was
and then
bear
he turned it up a little bit. Yeah, he's bear strong.
He's bear strong. I think that is something that we do forget with pandas, is that they are a bear.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think of them as sort of
little sleepy, friendly, like little fat guys.
Yeah, almost relatives of sloths, just like giant.
They do kind of look
giant
slothish.
sloth type creatures, and even though they have a plant-based diet, they are not to be trifled with.
No, not at all.
Is that the right word?
Yes,
Trifle? Don't trifle.
Don't trifle.
Don't trifle with a panda.
Couple things. Her name was Mei Ling, right?
That's
Isn't
the
that the bear's name in Anchorman?
Ching King is inside right now. I tried to get an interview with him, but they said, nope, you can't do that. He's a live bear. He will literally rip your face off.
What? And there's a bear in Anchorman?
Yeah, at the end. At the zoo, the bear that's giving, the panda, I think, that's giving pregnant babies.
Maybe.
That's giving pregnancy.
That's giving wow.
I think so. Anyway, you asked what's the stupidest thing you've ever done to impress a date.
Yes.
What is the stupidest thing you've ever done?
You didn't answer my question.
What?
I asked you what was the stupidest thing.
What is the stupidest thing that I've done to impress a date? Oh, I pretended, it wasn't a date, but it was girls. I pretended in 3rd grade that, I lied that my uncle owned a Pokemon card factory.
Oh, I was thinking like an actual Pokemon.
And I had endless supply of Pokemon cards. This was back at the height of Pokemon.
So how did you...
And I kept this lie up through the year. And everyone was like, oh my God, when are you gonna bring us the cards? I'm like, the last day of school. That summer started, and I ran. I just ran into my mom's car, and I was like, drive, woman!
Wait, how did you...
Pathological lie.
Why didn't you bring in the... I would have called bullshit on this so fast.
Dude,
I would have been like...
We were in 3rd grade.
Yeah, but how would you
and
not have all the cards?
I was the new kid in school.
Oh, you were so shy.
Yeah, so I needed to just get people to like me.
I like that too because there's an expiration date on that lie.
Yeah,
that's rule number 1 that you learn as a kid is that you can't give an expiration date on your lie.
Yeah.
The craziest thing I've ever done to impress a girl, if this brings me back as well, was it was in kindergarten, and everyone was really excited because this kid Brian Barrow, I think. I hope he's not watching. I love you, kindergarten friend. His dog had puppies, and everyone was really excited. And this girl Diana that I had a crush on very early on. I was an early bloomer. I know. Was really excited about Brian Barrows having puppies, and so everyone was like crowded around, and everyone was like talking about Brian and his puppies. And I from the back of the kindergarten room, I was like, yo, my cat had kittens. And people were like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, a whole bunch of kittens. Everyone's going home with them. What's up? Come over here. And then they all started coming to me, and I was just like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Diana was like asking me about the kittens. And I was making this elaborate story. I was like, oh yeah, so many kittens this morning. I don't know why I didn't tell you about it. This is who I was in kindergarten, by the way. I don't know why you didn't. Everyone's going home with them. My mom, as soon as she comes to pick me up, you're getting a kitten. You're getting a kitten. What color kitten do you want? We got all the colors. Pick them out. And everyone was like describing the kitten they wanted. I was like, we got one of those. We got one of those. And then what happened was the teacher, Miss Leventree.
Burlesque.
No, Miss Burlesque. Miss Leventree, I think. You know how you remember these names?
Yeah.
I can't tell you what I ate yesterday, but I can remember this.
Your brain is so plastic then.
Rubber, I think you mean, not plastic.
No, plastic.
You do mean plastic?
Plasticity, brain plasticity.
Oh, yes, you're right. Whoops. Okay, should have learned that from Miss Leventree. So Miss Leventree comes up to me, and she was I think she was like a single woman living on her own. This is at least how I remember the story. And so she comes up to me, and she was like, Grace, I overheard that your cat had kittens.
God.
And I've really been wanting to have a kitten of my own. Yeah. I'd love to have one when your mom comes. And I was like, and I knew that the game was up, and I was like, oh yeah, great, everybody's getting one. So ask my mom when she comes, she's coming with the kittens. My mom, of course, shows up, no kittens. And my mom is there, and Miss Leventree goes up to my mom, and she was like, Isabel, Grace told me about the kittens. Are they in the car? Like, what's happening? And my mom was like, what? And our cat's name was Mishkin at the time.
Oh my God.
And my mom was like, what? And I was like, yeah, the Mishkin's kittens. And my mom turns to me, she's like, Mishkin is 19 years old. And she was like, did you tell your class, in front of the class, she's like, did you tell your classmates that Mishkin had kittens? And I was like, I knew I had to save face because Diana was looking at me. And I was like, yeah, here's the thing, she did have kittens. But they all ran away because my mom was too slow. So I was like, it's not my fault, everybody. Like, you all were going to get a kitten, but obviously my mother fucked up and didn't find
your mom right there in the front of the class.
I was like, my mom didn't find them in time, so now they're all dead. So have a nice day, everybody. And then just like rolled out. I was like, see ya, kindergarten.
And then you came in the next day.
And then I came in the next day. And then I lied a whole bunch in kindergarten to impress Diana.
Yeah.
I don't even remember her
Kids
last
will
name.
do the darndest
I hope she's doing well,
impress.
though. I told her I could fly. She believed that, too. But guys, we want to hear from you in the comment section below. What is the craziest thing you've ever done to impress a date? Our stories were great, but they certainly were not jumping into a panda enclosure. Maybe you can top it. Let us know, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.